Are you looking to trap a raccoon like an expert? Follow the professional trapper Tony as I take you through a step-by-step guide for a professional trap set. If you have a question for Trapper Tony, leave a comment below or follow some of our other how-to wildlife videos. So you have some encounters of wildlife on your home or property, you're not sure what it is. First, we're going to identify the signs and symptoms of you may have a raccoon issue. One, could be latrines on the property. These are piles of feces that the raccoons will utilize, almost like a cat going to a litter box in one specific area or multiple areas where they actually defecate and leave a pile or mound of droppings. This could be on the ground and low or up on top of a shed or even your roof. Raccoons are black and gray in nature, and they have that common ring tail alternating from black to gray, and they have that distinctive mask look with opposable thumbs and 4 fingers. Adult raccoons can weigh anywhere from 8 to 10 pounds and can be 24 to 36 inches long. Now, what might be attracting raccoons to your home or property? They're always looking for food, water, and shelter. In regards to food sources, they're always looking for something sweet and something that's in high caloric value. This could be getting into your garbage bin. You may notice them tampering with your garbage, tipping your bin right over. You may have vegetables in the garden being eaten, fruit falling from a tree, or missing fish from your pond. Birdseed from an overhanging bird feeder and spillage onto the ground will also lure in wild animals. You may have stagnant water on the property, such as pools, ponds, and puddles, luring these animals to have a drink and stay hydrated. Raccoons will take advantage of anything they can find shelter in. This could be underneath the shed, in your roof, in your attic, or even underneath the front porch of your home. Now follow along as we get prepared to trap a wild raccoon on your property. For starters, we're going to wear a long sleeve shirt, leather gloves. We don't want to transfer any human odors from us to the trap or the bait of our choosing. We want that animal to feel comfortable, and we don't want to deter the animal away whatsoever. We'll get a nice large trap, 32 inches long, 10 inches wide, and 10 inches high. We'll also get a trap cover to help entice the animal to feel more comfortable entering into the trap, making its way all the way through to the back, stepping on the trigger pan. We also want to make sure that we remove any food competition from the property itself. If you've noticed raccoons getting into your garbage, into your vegetable garden, eating your fruit falling from the tree, you want to make sure these sources are removed and eliminated in order to prevent any food competition for the bait of our choosing. This would also include any outdoor pet food or birdseed on the property. Now, when it comes to baiting a trap for a raccoon, there's a variety of options we can choose. However, our go-to option are sardines. It's a high caloric food option for the raccoon. It also has a strong odor, which will entice the animal to make its way all the way to the back of the trap, stepping on the trigger pan, capturing the animal inside. When we secure the sardines to the back of the trap, we'll use a zip tie, as raccoons have opposable thumbs, and we don't want any bait theft, which means raccoon goes in, grabs the can, and leaves without being caught. Securing the trap and the sardines at the back of the trap ensure we have a successful capture. Other baiting options may include something sweet like marshmallows. Before our final placement is complete, you always want to make sure to check the trap, its function, make sure the trigger pan is setting off the trap, closing the trap. Once your trap is set and baited, don't forget to place your trap cover on top. Now that we've got our trap placement and trap set, when it comes to monitoring, it's super important we check this trap every single day. Now, the best time to check the trap is first thing in the morning. As raccoons are typically nocturnal, they'll do their business between dusk and dawn. So when you wake up in the morning, you may have a successful capture or not. In order to verify this, you must do a visual trap inspection. You can walk right up to the trap slowly and cautiously. You can look from a distance utilizing a flashlight, looking directly down the front of the trap. In order to protect the animal as well as your car, you can place an added blanket over top of the trap itself while picking the animal up to make it feel more comfortable inside the trap for relocation. You can also prepare the back of your vehicle with a tarp, blanket, or towel to protect yourself and your family against any fecal matter or urine that may come from the animal during transportation. Avoid any bumpy or noisy roads for a positive relocation. You chose the right bait, you chose the right location, you chose the right trap set, and you got the raccoon. Now, when it comes time to relocate this animal, know before you go. Have a plan in place about how you're going to get that animal to its relocation site, and have your relocation site already predetermined. So you got the raccoon, you relocated it, now you're back home and you want to protect your home or property from encountering any raccoons in the future. How can we prevent animals such as raccoons coming to your property again. For starters, we're going to look at food, water, and shelter. Eliminate any food sources. If you notice any tampering of garbage bins, if you notice they're getting into your vegetable gardens, you can secure the garden. If you notice any tampering with your garbage bins or fruit being eaten, vegetables from your garden, you want to secure these areas or eliminate these food sources. This could be birdseed falling from a bird feeder, outdoor pet food, just to make sure that your backyard is neat and tidy with no food attractants luring raccoons. We also want to eliminate any water sources on the property itself. This can come in a variety of ways. Pools, ponds, puddles, bird baths, anywhere that stagnant water can accumulate, we want to make sure it's not easily accessible to these raccoons. If you notice any damage to your property, animals burrowing under a shed, getting under a fence, we want to secure these areas with either galvanized steel mesh or a heavy substrate like a river rock around a perimeter to help deter animals from frequenting your backyard. When it comes to protecting your home against raccoons frequenting your yard or property, physical trapping and relocation is essential. We're physically removing this animal, taking it away, ensuring that it won't come back. We're taking preventative measures to make sure it doesn't happen again, ultimately protecting you, your home, your people, and your pets. Keep in mind, raccoon feces, the latrines, can be extremely toxic to people and pets. So ensuring these animals are deterred from your property is key. If you don't think you can handle this job on your own, call Pest Protection Plus and we'll have a wildlife specialist come out to your property for an assessment. If you'd like to try this process on your own, review the timestamps below for a step-by-step guide for a successful raccoon capture and relocation process. Don't forget to check out our other how-to wildlife videos.